Hi.
Hey,
So today we're discussing some healthy habits that I think are good for a healthy relationship.
some things that are personal to you, yes?
Yes.
Okay, we'll see what you come out with.
Okay. Let's start with something I really enjoy and in our relationship, and that's listening and talking. I think it's very important to listen to the other person and to have a good open communication. I love that you find things that I say to you interesting, even though they might not necessarily be, or you know how to pretend that they're interesting. It's just the listening is very important. I don't want to generalize, but I think women generally like being listened to,
Okay,
so I really appreciate that.
okay. I'll make a note in my book that you enjoy that. What's the next one?
Talking about appreciation, I think that in a healthy relationship, you should appreciate always your partner. So, for example, we don't, because we've been married for 5 years now. That doesn't mean I should start taking you for granted, and only because every time you clean this or every time you hoover this or something like this, I should take it for granted. A small thank you or making you a cup of coffee or something would go a long way, I think.
Taking someone for granted, I think, is a very quick way down a slippery path in general. I don't take you for granted. I hope that you realise that.
I know that's it.
Because I know a lot of people out there who...
Okay, honesty is another thing for me. I think agreeing to be honest from the start. It might seem sometimes that it's impossible because you actually think about it. Every person probably has stuff that they just keep to themselves. But if you're actually getting into a marriage relationship, into a serious relationship, I don't think there should be any secrets. And it's actually very liberating and very rewarding to have one person who knows everything about you and you know everything about them. I like it.
If that's true, how come, right, when I said to you, what would you say if I could read all your thoughts? You said you didn't want that to happen.
First of all, that was before we got married. Second of all, I've been hearing about this story since the dawn of time. And third of all, I mean, that's a whole other topic. Going
Right.
into my head and reading my mind, it's like, I think there is a reason that we haven't been created that we can read other people's minds.
Is your mind a very dark place?
No, it's yours.
No. You're the one that didn't want me to read your mind.
So you want me to read your mind?
No, my mind is my mind.
Oh, okay. So you want to be able to read my mind, but I can't be able to read yours.
That's right.
That's very fair, yeah.
No, the honesty thing's good. I mean, I agree with that. What if I asked you if you asked me if your butt's big or something, or if you look fat in something? What am I supposed to say then?
Yeah, honest truth. Because if I can't judge it properly and we're going out somewhere, I would rather hear it from you than somebody else. That would embarrass me more.
Okay.
So something again that's personal to me is that I think it's important to be physical with each other.
Okay.
Constantly.
Constantly.
Or regularly, whatever. Constantly, regularly. 1 second. You don't know what I'm saying yet.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean specifically having sex.
Oh.
It's like giving each other a hug, or like I really like you stroking my back. That kind of physical contact, hugging, lying down. That doesn't always necessarily lead to sex. Obviously, normal sexual life is important for every relationship, but physical doesn't, I think, always have to mean sex.
So it's important to have physicalness in a relationship.
Yes.
Is that why you just touched me with your arm at the moment?
Yes. It just felt natural to put my arm next to you. Yeah. Okay, and a very obvious one, or one that many people have heard, is compromise, I think. And that's something that I remember since we've gotten married. Every time I have a discussion with my grandmother, one of my grandmothers, it's always like a discussion about relationships, and they've been married for like over 50 years. it's always, she always says to me, just remember it's about compromise, and not because we argue or anything like this, but I feel like this is the biggest thing she can give me as an advice, and I completely agree. The moment you start playing with each other and start trying to get one over each other, you know, that's the moment things might not break up necessarily straight away, but would probably start going downhill from there on. So when you do things together, maybe that's a more obvious example. When you do things together, you might not always enjoy the same sports or the same type of movie, but every now and then it's good to do what the other person would like to do.
Very well put. I enjoyed your points on a healthy relationship. I think I'll have to give mine in a video coming up soon, maybe.
You want to be fair. See you next time.